We are professional.
Let's
dads.
mind the mustache
Dude.
here.
Let me tell you what, man. That mustache is on fleek.
I haven't heard that word in a long time. I kind of,
digging up
I've
the
always
graveyard
wanted
of
to really
words.
do a good mustache because my dad had a mustache.
He
Now,
did have a mustache, yeah.
he did have a mustache. Now, granted, he lived through like the 60s and 70s when it was okay to have a mustache. And I don't have to work this week, which is why I went for the mustache. I realized youth directors have the opposite problem of firefighters, right? Firefighters can't have a beard because the facial hair will get in the way of the
SCBA,
mask. Yeah. And there's no
Yeah.
seal. Like, it's for work.
Right.
So if they
Right.
want facial hair, they have to have a mustache.
A mustache, yeah.
That's what they can have. Youth directors, opposite problem. When I have to work with kids, I can't have a mustache. It's too creepy. If I want facial hair, I have to have a beard.
It's so weird, and I don't understand it. Did you ever see Dazed and Confused?
Maybe in parts of it a long time ago.
Matthew McConaughey, Ben Affleck, takes place in the 70s. It's the last day of
70s?
school. Yeah. Matthew McConaughey's got a mustache, man. Just looks so cool.
Well, you
And-
know who else has a mustache? There's a big inspiration too. Mando. Mando has a mustache.
Yeah. He doesn't ever show his face, but he still grooms
But he
his
keeps-
mustache.
Yeah. If the Mandalorian can have a mustache, I can have a mustache too. That's what I'm
You know-
sticking with. So do you want me to kick this off?
Yeah, man. Let's do this.
All right. All you listeners out there in podcast land, we're coming to the end of 2020 here. And before our Christmas episode, we just wanted to pop in and talk with you guys for a little bit, have a little chat.
We are very sorry that we were delayed. We're what?
We're like 3 weeks behind.
3 weeks behind? Are we 3 weeks behind?
Yeah, maybe.
I think-
Well,
I
because
think
we were a week off,
Yeah.
and then we released an episode, and then we had 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
And we just had another Saturday go by, and an episode didn't come out. But we have now.
Parenting is hard. And
Parenting
working
is hard.
And working and parenting, it's time consuming.
It takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
But in the last couple days, with Christmas break rolling around, had some time
Right.
to catch up. And so we are going to bless y'all with not one, not two, but 3 very special end of the year, December oriented episodes.
Sort of. One of them is definitely December oriented. One of them is about as educational episode as we've ever done.
Yes.
And the other one is
Just for fun.
Good old fashioned dad shoes.
Yeah, it's just some fun stuff. So we're not going to spoil what the topics are. Go read the titles of those episodes on your feed. They're all going to be there. We're releasing all of them right now. Like, they're all there. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, they're out right now, wherever you can find them. Don't make that face. They're out there.
Okay.
We're doing this all at once
All right.
because I want to get these out here before the new year. So
Are we not live
three
streaming right
episodes.
now?
No, we're not live streaming.
Oh,
This
okay.
is just candid video. We're gonna edit this later.
Fantastic.
So 3 episodes coming out. One very special episode. We are very sorry, especially to Anna George, who was our guest for that episode, which we wanted to have released for everybody and very well polished. Go check out that one if you are interested at all in the mental health of your children, which is something very important.
We're probably gonna have her back on, or at least revisit the topic at a future episode. But this is definitely a good introduction to your children's mental health, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And it was just such a pleasure to talk with her and catch up and learn a little bit about how our kids tick. So while we have you, we wanted to tell you about a couple extra projects that we're going to be working on in the beginning of 2021. I know it sounds like a lot. We just told you that parenting and having jobs is hard. We're going to add more to our to-do list.
Yeah, but this is definitely something that you and I have enjoyed doing.
Yes.
And one of the things that we've talked about, we've struggled with a little bit, is having the focus on a topic. And so you brought up a while ago the dad shoes and media, and the books, the TV, movies, media. I've had a couple of really great ideas, and I think touching on this and focusing on this, I think is going to be really good for us. I think it's going to give us a good little, a nice project to focus on while we do some episodes here.
Yeah, and we've been at this podcasting thing for almost a year.
Almost a
Which
year.
is-
It'll
which
be
is
a
hard to
year
believe.
in less than a month. In like 2 weeks. We've been doing this for a year.
I've been doing this for a year. Before the pandemic, before everybody else had podcasts, we had a podcast. We just wanted to
Right.
get that out there. You can check the release dates. We were out there in January 2020. But yeah, we one of the episodes is taking a look at some dads in media, dads portrayed in media, and we need a little bit of your help because we want to take a look at some of these dads, and so we want to hear from you what your favorite dads in media are, your favorite depictions of fatherhood. And we're not talking about like just your favorite shows that have a dad in it, like your favorite TV dads. So some examples from that episode: we had Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep.
We had Red Foreman from that '70s show, very very near and dear to my heart. But we're not going to spoil anything else in that episode. Go take a listen to that one. It will be after this Christmas episode that you're about to hear. But we want to take a look at this list and just kind of compare, contrast some of these dads in media. How are dads being portrayed in the media? I think it's interesting to look into.
There's the two different tropes. There's like the dad that like everybody goes to for advice, the dad, right? And then there's the
Homer Simpson types.
The Homer Simpson type. Yeah. And I'm definitely excited to see what other people have. And it doesn't have to be inspirational. I don't necessarily want somebody to be only giving me inspirational things.
Mhm.
But the Homer Simpson. Give me all of the dad tropes and your feelings on the dad trope, because that's why we're here. We want to know.
That's gonna help us make our list and help us make our comparisons here.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
another project we have, we don't want to keep you too long. Another project we have, this one is more personal to me and my wife. And actually tomorrow at approximately 11:30, we are going to be closing on our first house.
Daggum, man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very exciting. The only problem is it's a total fixer-upper. It needs a lot of work. And so we have decided two things we're going to do while working on this. We're going to make a vlog about the process of fixing up this house. We watch a lot of Fixer Upper. We love Chip and Joanna Gaines. We model ourselves after some of them, and we're really excited to take on this Fixer Upper thing. We'll see how hard it really is, and we'll let you know along the way.
I don't think you're doing
thing-
quite that. I don't think you're gonna be quite that extensive, are you?
Well, let's see. We're taking out a wall.
Wow,
There's definitely
okay.
going to be things that we're going to be paying other people to do,
Yeah.
but a lot of it we're going to do. The more we do, the less we have to pay for people. So that's the goal.
Hey, I love it.
It's
I
going to
love
be
it.
fun, and it's going to be right here on this YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, the Dad Shoes YouTube, we'll be posting that in a separate playlist for you guys to watch. The other thing we're going to try out, this is just kind of for fun. My wife and I both love The Sims and
Yeah.
playing The Sims 4, and we're going to try and recreate our house in The Sims and see if we can get any design inspiration from building our house there.
I love it.
We got to get the measurements so we can make sure this is proportional. But we will be we'll be streaming that live on Twitch as well as posting some edited videos of that to YouTube as we play. So
Dude,
check
I
it out
love
on Twitch. It's on Twitch at Convod6. So you can find those there once we start.
You don't
playing
want
The
to post
Sims.
it to the Dad Shoes Twitch?
We'll see. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
I haven't played The Sims in a long time, and we're
I
going to try
used
and
to
do this
love it.
without cheating. Like, no mother load here. We're just going to try and design our house in The Sims. If that doesn't work, we'll try it in Minecraft.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's going to be our project. And John, you're kind of spearheading a project here as well.
So we'll actually talk about it in the Christmas episode that's about to follow. I'm a huge fan of the Inheritance Cycle, the Aragon book series, and there's 4 books with like a 5th kind of follow-up in the world but not related, and maybe there's actually a 5th in the series coming up. But all that aside, I love the series. Connor, your wife is a fan.
She's a big fan.
Yeah, it is. That's actually, spoiler alert, one of my dads in media is in there. Actually a couple, but it's I'd like to do a read through of the book, and I'm more of an audiobook guy because I can consume the audiobook, and especially a book that I've already physically read, I can go back and listen to it, and I get the whole topic, the whole thing, and I think I would love to do a read through with you, somebody who really, well, you're halfway through the second book, right?
Yes, I have been going through the series. Really loved the first one. I mean, I think this is just an amazing story. I think there's so much
Oh,
potential, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. And more than that, I really hope this gets another attempt at some kind of film adaptation because the
I'm sorry,
Aragon
did you say
movie.
another?
Yes.
That implies it was a first.
Yeah, I know you do not acknowledge the first Aragon, and so I completely agree. That one is just hot garbage.
I
It was not very good at all comparing it to the book. I tried going back and watching it again after reading the first book, and I couldn't do it. I had to turn it off, which I don't do very often.
That's funny.
So I'd really love to see another kind of live action film adaptation of this series because I think it's really cool, and I think there's a lot of lore here to dig into.
You know what? If you are a Star Wars fan and you like the lore of the universe, or Harry Potter, or well, Lord of the Rings is already completely fleshed out, so forget that one. You like kind of the what about this, and looking at different aspects of this world that this person created, this author created. The inheritance cycle to the world of Alagasia is right up there. It's such a good tale. I love it. Each book ends, but also flows into the next book. I really love it. From the whole series, there's only one that I can think of. I believe there's only one loose end that I don't have resolution on, and it's just me. I don't know. But anyways, I would like to do a read through, probably chapter by chapter. I'd love to do that.
It's a popular podcast medium with books, chapter by chapter. We'll
It's
see. We'll
easy
talk
to
about it.
do. It's a chapter a week is everybody can read a chapter a week. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. Chapter a week is easy. So,
I'll give you some of that, but reading's hard too. Anyway, I think that's all that we have to share. If you are interested in any of those, please make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube. You subscribe to us on wherever platform you listen to podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts. And I believe we're on, I think Amazon has a podcast platform now. We're there too.
yeah, we're there.
We're there. So make sure you subscribe to us there, where we will be posting all of this stuff. And we are going to be back with new episodes of the Dad Shoes podcast on January 16th, which is the third Saturday. So that'll give us a little bit of time to catch up, get our 2021 ducks in a row, and be ready for some new episodes for year 2. Hey everyone, I'm Connor, and this is my co-host John.
Welcome to our podcast, Dad Shoes.
Have you ever wondered where a dad joke comes from?
Or how dads just seem to have the right wisdom for the moment.
Or you're just trying to figure out what your dad was thinking? Maybe you are a dad, and you just need to hear,
Hey man, us too.
well, we're learning what it's like to wear the dad shoes.
We'd like to invite you to join us on this journey. But first things first, Connor, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, John.
What'd you do for Christmas?
It was an odd year. Of course, I think it's going to be the case for a lot of people. We stayed home. We stayed home for Christmas. Mimi came to town.
Mimi, that's your wife's mom?
Yeah, it's my mother-in-law. She came to town,
Okay.
and we just had ourselves a good old time. Staying.
That's
at home.
awesome.
And, yeah, it was a good day for cooking. It was a good day for gifting, and not a lot of TV watching. So that's always a good thing.
Let me tell you what. So I noticed. I mean, I noticed it yesterday, but it really hit me. Like the gravity hit me today about 4:00, 5:00. This is the first year in like a decade that it's been cold on Christmas. The last like 10
South
years,
Florida,
it's been
thank goodness.
and it's been it's been some combination of muggy, stormy, hot. I mean, it was something. It was not cool. And today was a perfect day, weather speaking. Weather-wise, it was a perfect day in South Florida. And we were lucky because I know the Northeast, New England, is getting hammered.
Yeah.
With the winter storm.
Definitely. You know, and as a South Floridian, I dare say that it was pretty frickin' cold out there.
It was so freaking cold. I called my brother, video called my brother this morning as we're making breakfast. He actually called us, but I'm in jeans. I've got my it was a light jacket, but my light down jacket on, and a beanie on. And what he didn't know was 10 minutes before he called, I was outside running around with my daughter because my mother got our girls bicycles. So we're running around on the bicycles. Yeah, really well. Talk about that in a bit. And so he's giving me a hard time because they're up in New York visiting his in-laws, and you're dressed like it's like you're up here. I'm like, you don't understand, dude. It's 40 degrees outside.
It's cold,
freezing, and but man, it was so beautiful today.
Yeah,
just absolutely a perfect day for Christmas, for anything.
Yeah, it was pretty cold. I was actually grilling today. That was part of our Christmas meal. So
I'm a little bit jealous.
Considerable amount of time outside. You wouldn't have been grilling. You would have been smoking.
That is I don't have almost true. I have, and I'm going to plug this because I would love for them to sponsor us. A RecTech Bullseye. RecTech they make competition quality pellet smokers. And people can poo-poo pellet grills all you want, but it's just pressed wood. They take basically sawdust and they press it. There's no chemicals in it. It's not glued together, not bound together. It's just pressed together to make these pellets. Put it in the hopper. It feeds into an auger. They function like an oven. You set a temperature, right? You set the temperature to 350 and it cooks like an oven, but with fire. So mine is really more of a grill. But because I can set the temperature so low and it does use wood, I can do some smoke to it, right? So I can smoke on it, but it's really more of a grill. And man, I saw your text today, and you absolutely need a smoker. I think you should probably get what I've got.
Yeah, but that might work because we have a grill, and I don't smoke very often. We just got this wild hair today. That smaller family, we're not getting together with everybody, so we can do something a little bit like better. So we decided to do some Christmas ribs,
like St. Louis baby back ribs, pork ribs.
Well, these are baby back from Costco.
Awesome.
3 racks, and put them on the grill. Did the Babish method as I do. Had them on the grill for 6 hours.
Yeah,
really slaved over these ribs. And you know what? After eating them, I don't think I like ribs, dude.
Okay, let me ask you something. As a former barbecue competitor, when you picked up your rack, could you just pick up the rack of ribs and it like gently cascades down? Or like if you picked up a bone, would the bone come out?
That is a tough question. That said, I think they were cooked well. The one thing I would say is that they got a little burned because they're on a grill, and I didn't, they're closer to the heat source than I wanted them to be.
Sure.
And I had 3 racks of ribs on effectively half of my grill because the other half I had pans of water and wood chips so that they would smoke.
Yeah.
So some of them got burned, a little bit overcooked. I mean, they were good. They were cooked well. My brother appreciated it. He's the rib guy.
He's the rib guy.
He said they were good ribs, but yeah, I don't think I like ribs.
So another question: did you peel the membrane?
Funny thing, I didn't, but I'm pretty sure it was already done for me.
It might have been. It's not common that it is already done. But we've gotten ribs before, and I go to peel the membrane, and there's no membrane to peel.
There was nothing there. Like, I have peeled the membrane on, like, usually get my ribs from Publix, and I know, like, you peel the membrane, you get under there, you grab a paper towel, it comes right off.
Yep.
And these ones from Costco, like, no membrane. I don't know. There was nothing there to peel. I was really digging into the...
Yeah, it may actually be that Costco's are already peeled. Because I remember I've done that a few times, and I go to peel the membrane, and
there was some fat back there, but there was not like that membrane like you usually see. So we didn't have to worry about that. But anyway, dear listener, we are, just like our last big holiday, doing a post-Christmas recap. Day of. Like, this is Christmas Day.
It is Christmas Day at 9:40.
9:40. My kids are not really asleep. They're in bed, though, which is good.
That's half the battle.
That's half the battle. They're in warm PJs, and then my son said, "Daddy, I need all the Lightning McQueens before I go to bed."
Is that actually what he said?
Oh yeah, he's like, "Dad, I need all the Lightning McQueens." I'm like, "Well, you're gonna have to deal with it because I don't know where they are."
That's adorable and
he's
annoying
got, like,
and really cute.
It was a question. Anyway,
That's
so
funny.
we've got a couple things. We want to keep this quick because, as we said, it's 9:40.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we can get something posted for you guys. So a couple quick Christmas highlights. So, John, what is your favorite Christmas tradition you guys got to do today?
Well, let's see. Christmas traditions. I didn't get to sleep in. I didn't have any eggnog. I didn't drink copious amounts of alcohol. There wasn't a huge family gathering. We didn't do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. Nothing.
Wow,
We didn't.
You guys really missed out on a lot. It sounds like
It's funny because we didn't miss out on anything. And I was talking to my wife we visited my mom for dinner. We spent most of the day here, and after the girls woke up from nap, we rode down, saw my mom and my grandparents, and had dinner with them. And they're really reflecting back on it. This was a great Christmas. It really was one of the best Christmases I've had in a long time. Nothing was obviously missing. It was a nice, relaxing day. I messed up my wife's pie, but we can talk about that at another time. It was pretty funny. But that was like the most stressful part of the day. Like I didn't really ruin the pie. I put a topping on it, not the way she wanted, and whatever. But what about you? I mean, what kind of traditions do you do that you either did or didn't do this year?
Yeah, typically we would. Well, I mean, this was kind of a new one, right?
Yeah.
Like Titus is 3, so he's really starting to grasp this idea of presents and presents under the
Right.
tree, and the joy of opening those presents. And we have to tell him that all those presents are not for him.
Not all for him.
Yeah, and so that was. I don't remember that being a thing last year, but this was kind of new because we are at my mom's house, which is the year we would be down here, and we had Mimi. So everything was pretty similar. We just didn't get to go do Christmas with the rest of the family. We usually go to my grandparents and everybody's there. We missed out on that part of Christmas, but you know what? It was a full day. It was a full day. There was
And
not
when
a
you're the
dull
one
moment.
cooking, it doesn't matter what your normal routine is. If you're cooking dinner for the family, if it's just your normal family, okay, maybe 4 people, you're not really going to change anything.
Mm-hmm.
But once you invite your grandparents over, your parents over, whatever, then you're cooking all day. The quantity may be less, but you're still cooking all day.
Yeah, and
So-
I'm hoping that that's kind of the beginning of tradition for me.
You want to cook all day?
I not necessarily all day, but I want to cook. I mean, Thanksgiving we talked about. I missed cooking. I didn't get to do anything. I did
Right.
the Brussels sprouts. That was it. This time I did the ribs. I had to do Brussels sprouts again, and I got to do a key lime pie, which
Ooh,
is
yeah, how'd that come
delicious.
out?
Oh man, it came out so good. It is.
I actually wanted to
delicious.
stop by and take some, but man, I was so tired on the way home. I had to put on. So I go through my phases of listening to the Inheritance cycle, the Aragon series,
Uh-huh.
and I'm on the 3rd book this time around, and I had to put it on because I knew it was a story. I knew where I was in the story, and it's a part that I really like. So I knew it was going to keep me awake.
Yeah.
So it was like, in fact, the 3rd book is my favorite in the series. So I was like, that would be great. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Pie came out.
Oh man.
The pie came out really well, and the crust is better. This is the second time that I've done it, so it's getting better every time.
Awesome.
The one Christmas tradition that we did get to experience, and honestly, like, I don't know why I was going into gift giving hoping this was going to be a thing. Like, it's just it's so fun, but it's the tradition of my mom losing presents. Like, everybody opens their presents and she's like, wait a minute, where's your this? I bought you this and I don't see it. Just to run to her room and go find it, and it's stashed away, and she comes out and she quickly grabs a bag and stuffs whatever it is in a bag and gives it to you, that one last gift.
That's so funny.
This year I was the victim, and so she told me what it was. It's a book that I asked for.
That's great.
Ready Player 2, and
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah, and I was really excited to read it. She's like, I bought it for you, I just don't know where it is. So we're still looking, and maybe we'll find it by my birthday. But that is
so
a
fun.
time-honored tradition of my mom forgetting a present.
So you got the book, and I know you're excited to read
Well,
it
I
whenever
didn't
she
get the
finds
book.
it. Well, you got the book, but what was the best gift of the day? And you know, like, just I mean, your mom got it for you. You know, you got it. So like, all right, you got the book. I would
Best
include
gift.
that one.
The best gift. You know, I put this question in and I didn't really even have an answer for it.
That's so funny.
The best gift given today was to. I don't know, man. I got nothing.
You got nothing.
For the best gift, let's see.
What about the best gift you received?
The best gift I received. Man, I came up with this question and I can't even answer it.
That's so funny.
Best gift that I received. I want to say so let's go back. Original question. The best gift. I think the best gift that was given was smartwatches.
Oh yeah?
Because I bought my wife a really cheap $30 smartwatch on Amazon.
Yeah.
And just to test it out, just to see if she'd use it, and she grew really attached to this smartwatch. And
Really
it was $30, so it didn't even last a year. But
Okay.
you know, she realized like, yeah, this would be a nice thing to have. So we got her a Samsung watch,
Oh, nice.
Samsung Active 2.
I like that.
So that was a pretty good gift.
I like the smartwatch. I think they are, apart from being, you know, Dick Tracy. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from that, the functionality of the smartwatch is, it's got a creepy factor, right? The constant tracking and everything, but it's endlessly useful. Like I use mine mainly for music, but it tracks my movements. I'll like change what I'm listening to. You can do just a ton of stuff on them.
Yeah.
I have a
smartwatch too. I have a Fossil Q. And I don't even think I use half the things I can do with it. You know, it tells
Right.
time for me, and the most useful thing I use it for is just to tell me when I have notifications. You know,
Yes.
if I get a text, I can glance at my wrist instead of having to pull out my phone and whatever. Just kind of like quickly look and see what's going on.
It's kind of kitschy. Like, do you need that? Nah, I don't need that.
No, but it's nice.
It's nice. Yeah.
You know, scroll through. You know, I keep a couple things on the home screen, like temperature, a little bit of weather.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's nice. So she's got one, and we got my mom a Fitbit.
Which one?
I don't know. My brother bought it for her, but
that's
you know,
fine.
smartwatch tracks your
Sure.
movement, tells time. That's all she wanted it to do. So
Sure.
that was good. What about you? What did you say was the best gift that was given at your Christmas today?
I don't know. I'm not going to include the extended family. Well, I mean, like, so we had Christmas at home, and then we went to my mom's as well. And at my house, my mom gave us, she brought it up before, and we had it here. She was not here, but she gave the girls. Charlotte May got a bicycle. It's a balance bike, but it also has pedals. So the pedals can come out, like they fold away.
Wow.
So they come
Cool.
out, and then it's a bicycle with pedals.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how she feels about it yet. She thinks it's really cool. It's her motorcycle. She said, "Oh, my motorcycle," when she saw it. So she loves it. It's cool, but she's uncertain being on it. I mean, she's never been on it before.
Sure.
Her feet barely touch the ground. But I think that's going to be really awesome. We got Mabel a tricycle, and it's got this handle so you can push it. It's like the Radio Flyer red tricycle
Sure.
with everything on it. And the handle in the back, if you turn it, it turns the
We've
handlebars.
got one. We've
You
got
got,
one of
oh
those, too.
man, yeah. So we got one of those. So cool.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, I
And,
know we've talked about the Strider bikes before. Titus has one,
Yeah,
and I know your thing was like, it doesn't have pedals. You know, like
Right.
you can't grow with the kid. Well, now you got
Right.
one with pedals. So
my mom and I were talking about it because she's like, but it doesn't have pedals. When they outgrow it, then what? You know, they'll have it for 6 months, or however long, or they'll never grow into the pedals until they really outgrow the bike, because they're just I don't have to learn, so I won't. But with this one, I just kick the pedals out in the way, and then there you go. Now you got pedals.
yeah, I've seen some kids really fly on those things though.
Me too.
Dude, it's
Since
like a
we talked
scooter.
about it the first
it's like
time.
a scooter you sit down on,
Yep.
you kick with both feet. You can really get some speed on those things.
It makes sense. I could see why, if there was a place to put your feet, I could see really getting up some speed, putting your feet and just like coasting
Just
down
cruising, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
So this one's got pedals, and right now what I've done, because her feet barely touch the ground, just so she'll sit on it, I put the pedals both down, so they're facing down. And that way, she can put her feet on it and kind of ride as I push her. She can get used to being on this thing, and then hopefully soon that'll progress to actually balance biking it and whatnot. But I'm thinking the bikes are gonna be really good.
Yeah, I
I
think it
think
sounds
it's really
fun.
awesome.
So I want to ask you this question too, because this was one like that I encountered. Is like, how do you gift to your kids? Trying to buy gifts for my kids. I don't know what my kids want.
Yeah,
I mean, they want everything and anything.
yeah,
you know,
but they don't want anything.
Right, but what are they really gonna play with? So how do you like gift to your kids? How
So-
did you gift to your kids?
I worked, and my wife bought stuff.
Yeah.
We have a rule. We discussed this long before we had kids. On one hand, we want our kids to be in extracurriculars, right? So something that's going to keep them active, and then something that's going to give them a discipline. And if those two things are one thing, then that's cool. That's their extracurricular, or they'll do two.
Mm-hmm.
With gifts, we want a practical gift, a fun gift, and an educational gift as children right now. And if they can be kind of all encompassing, then cool. So we got I don't know if you've done ABC Mouse, but Charlotte May was doing
Not
ABC
yet.
Mouse on the iPad, and my iPad was my aunt's iPad, and she passed away 4 years ago, and it was old then.
Oh boy.
So so I can't update it. I have ABC Mouse on it, but barely. I can't put Disney Plus on it. I can't even watch Disney Plus on Safari on it.
Oh,
It just
geez.
won't. It's too old. It won't.
Can't process it.
Yeah. So, she's running ABC Mouse, maxing out the capacity of this iPad. So we bought her a Kindle Fire because it does a couple of things, right? It keeps her entertained when she's we go on a car ride. She doesn't play with it all the time. In fact,
Sure.
rarely does she even use the tablet. But if she's crabby in the car, we can give that to her when we're driving down to see my dad or something. But it's an educational game, right? She knows her ABCs, right? Whether you can get them out of her or not, that's different. But she'll look at something and say Z, and oh, I didn't know you recognized what that letter was. And just because she plays her ABC Mouse.
Yeah.
So little plug for that one.
Yeah, I see commercials for that all the time because
Yeah.
we watch Blue's Clues on demand, and they
Yep.
play ABC Mouse commercials all the time. Yeah, our kids.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, I didn't know she was there.
That's funny.
Sorry, fun interruption. We have that hole in our fire pit, so the grass caught on fire a little
Oh
bit.
God.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
gonna go take buckets and take care of it.
Yeah,
I just
please
wanted
do.
to insert that into your podcast for your
Merry
Christmas
Christmas.
evening. Merry Christmas. We're
We
catching
appreciate
all
it.
this
Merry
grass on
Christmas.
fire.
I told you I wanted to keep it. I tried to keep it on the patio. Anyway, let's move on because John's fading here.
That's funny.
Our Titus has a tablet, and
Yeah.
he got it when he turned 2.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, Kindle Fire. And so this is like my impressions after a year of my kid having this tablet. I think it's great. I do think he has an opportunity to play some games, and I'm impressed with how quickly he's learned to operate it.
Yes.
Like he sits like part of the bedtime routine now is we go visit Nana, and Nana's always looking at her iPad, and he'll go up and he'll try and like zoom in on pictures and stuff. Like he gets that motion of like 2 fingers spread apart makes picture bigger, which is it's cool that he's figured that out.
I want to know how. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just watching her do it, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Or using his own tablet. The cool thing about the Kindle Fire is how easily, like, we just give it to him and he knows
Yep.
what to do. Every once
Yep.
in a while, he'll hit an error, and we have to like back out and stuff. But one thing I don't like about it is on the Amazon free time, like, you can't turn off the App Store,
Right.
And I don't know if you've noticed this, like all the apps are just always available on the home screen, and what you can curate what kind of apps are there. Like I can tell it like don't show my kid apps that are above this age appropriation. So it's all apps appropriate for 2-3-year-olds, but it's still like I don't want him downloading a whole bunch of games onto his app. He's found some weird games that he plays.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to stop that, and I haven't had a chance to look into it.
The only thing I can figure is to turn off the Wi-Fi. You know, you get what apps you want them to have on it, and then turn the Wi-Fi off. And
The
then
problem
they're
with
limited
that-
to what's there.
The problem with that is ABC Mouse runs
Runs
on
online.
Wi-Fi. So I mean, we're in the car today with her new tablet, and I got to connect it to my phone, right?
Yeah.
So she can play it. And
Yeah, you got to have it
she-
connected to something for that.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's got to be a way around that, and that's something we can look at because
If you figure it out, let me know, because
I will.
Like the weird crap that my son has found and plays, like he's got an app where he cuts people's hair, and he doesn't know what he's doing. You know,
Yeah, he just swipes his finger and
he just swipes his finger around and the hair disappears, and then he's done. When all the hair's gone,
right.
he moves on to the next thing. He's got an app where he's supposed to cook food, like you're supposed to take the food from place to place and like cook it and then feed it to somebody. He just takes everything out of the refrigerator and puts it right into the character's mouth.
Yeah.
And they eat it because that's what they're programmed to do, but they'll
Right.
make a face like, oh, that was bad. And he just keeps feeding them. You know, like that scene in Wreck-It Ralph, the second one, when he's giving the pancakes to the bunny.
I haven't seen it. I don't
Oh
think.
my goodness. It's on Disney Plus and Netflix.
Yeah,
He gives
I
all the-
think I
if
may,
you know-
must have seen it, but
if you know, you know.
Yeah.
He has a lot of fun with his tablet. What impresses me and depresses me at the same time is he doesn't always want to play with his tablet, which is great. Like,
right.
I love that he does not glued to the screen, but there are times when I'm like, hey, dude, I need you to chill. For
I
like
need you glued to
20
the
minutes.
screen.
I need you to focus on this because I have to do something else. And I try to give it to him, and he's like, nah, I don't want that. I'm like, oh, you dang it. That's a new development, though.
Well, you know what? Y'all out there in podcast land, if you know how to turn off the App Store or like keep my kids from looking at the apps that
Yeah.
I don't want
that
them
aren't
downloading. Yeah, I don't want them being able to download anything. I don't want them getting on the apps. So if you know about that, hit us up at DadChoosePod on Twitter. And we're
Please.
at dadchoosepod@gmail.com.
Because you know one thing my kid found, and this is another one. If you know, you know, is Blippy, and I think
Yeah,
we've
we talked about
Blippy.
that. Yeah.
Blippy has become a national phenomenon. He's at Target now.
Oh, no kidding.
You can buy Blippy merch at Target, and it's the weirdest freaking show I've ever watched. But to his credit, you know, I've heard from other parents that they like it because it's really educational.
I've heard
Like-
everybody that I have talked to about it says, and it's moms mostly. The
Yeah.
mom will say, "Oh, I love Blippy. Blippy's great. My kid loves Blippy." And like, because I always try to ask the dad, and the dads go, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
Yeah, the
And
dads
then-
are like,
and-
this is the weirdest,
What do you-
creepiest show.
Well, yeah, but they'll like, I was asking my buddy, "Hey, have you heard of Blippy?" He said, "Dude, I don't even what a what?" And his wife heard like the B, the last little syllable, and she goes, "Oh, Blippy, he loves it." What?
Good old Blippy.
Dude, we were at a restaurant and we almost had to play it because he was like he heard Blippy.
Yeah. I am just so grateful that my son doesn't know that we have the ability to play Blippy on the big TV. Because I don't know that I can handle Blippy in that capacity. That is solely a tablet function, and it's an Amazon property. Like, it only runs on Amazon, so that's why he's
you
able to
sure?
find it on his tablet.
I thought it was
I'm pretty
on
sure.
YouTube.
I think he started on YouTube, but it has been like purchased by Amazon, so it has been pushed to him by the Amazon store through his tablet.
Heck,
But anyway, I asked the question, how do you give to your kids? And you said something kind of similar to what Marcy and I approach it with. We have a fun little rhyme that goes with it, though.
oh
And
yeah,
Let's see if I can remember it. It's when we want to give gifts, like for Christmas, more than one gift. You want to get something they want, something they need, something they wear, something they read.
okay, yeah. So
like, get 'em-
so it's kind
get
of
'em
the same
something
thing.
fun, get them something, educational. Get them something that they like, clothes. Get them something they can wear, and get them a book. And that's a good standard. Like, you cover your bases with that one, and you don't feel bad about buying too many gifts.
So let's see, something they want, something they need, something they wear, something they read.
Yep,
I like
you
that.
got it, man.
I like that.
That's
We'll have-
catchy.
We'll have to title the that'll be the title of the show.
Title of the episode.
Title of the episode.
The other weird thing, and maybe I don't know if your mom does this. This is when I say this about my mom, you're totally gonna understand.
I know your mom.
You know my mom. It's she had so many things, like random things for my kids, and I don't know where she gets them. We have opened the presents, everything's done, and in the process of looking for my book that we lost, I have found the hoard. She has like probably 10 other gifts for my kids that just didn't make the cut, but she's got them as backup.
Jeez.
And they're just things, she found along the way, and we've got them. And we actually, because I told you my kid wanted all the Lightning McQueen cars today, the way we got him to go to bed is we had a bunch of Matchbox cars. And I was like, hey, here's a brand new one. Go to bed. And it worked.
That's funny. My mom does not do that.
We had the hoard. I guess this is just a Gen Den thing.
We've talked about this before. I kind of hate presents. Like, I love getting things, and I love, it's like, ooh, look, a present. I get a present. And I love that. And I'm always super grateful when somebody gives me a present, because that means they thought about me enough to, hey, look at this. This is something that I think you would like. And that's awesome. The problem is I rarely get presents for people. And when I do, it's like there's a reason behind it. So like my mom, my dad, I'll get them presents just because my brother and we don't really give each other presents. If we find something, then yeah, dude, I found a present for you. This would be so good. You're going to love it. But otherwise, it's not really something we do. And then with the kids, we don't want them thinking that, Christmas is just about presents, because presents are awesome. But there is actually, we can get into the whole theological debate about Christmas and Easter and presents and Christ and whatnot, but not right now.
Nope.
But so it's just not a big deal to me. And then when I just sometimes I feel uncomfortable when somebody's given me a ton of presents, and it's like, hey, how about that gift certificate to Darden Restaurants? Yeah, you want a night out at the restaurant? Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not good at giving gifts, because like, I've got you a present. I got a gift for you because I saw it and your face jumped out at me, right? And look, it's nothing big, but I thought of you, and I thought, oh, this would be great. He'll get a kick out of this. So I just gotta get it to you. But like, stuff like that's what I like in a present. And a lot of
stuff you don't ask for. It's just the stuff that's like, I saw this and I thought of you. It's like, oh, that's sweet.
That's
I like
great.
that.
That is awesome. That's fantastic. The other thing that, like, for me that I like is practical gifts. So my mom on more than one occasion has bought me tires. Right? I got tires for Christmas, and I needed tires, and I didn't have the money for tires, so now I have tires.
And you don't need to spend all that money.
You're right, exactly. And it's that, I like that. Those are the two things I like. I don't want people going out of the way to like kill themselves finding the best present for me, because thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sometimes it's like my mother-in-law got me a little small fry pot. It's just for like frying something small. It's a small little fry pan. Sits on my turkey fryer base, right? My propane fry base. So it's great. I was talking to my wife. Hey, I need one of those little fry buckets. And she happened to mention it to my mother-in-law. Perfect. Absolutely something I need. Thanks so much. That kind of stuff. But finding gifts for my kids, man, that's tough. Hard. It's hard.
I had some friends ask me yesterday, actually, what did I get my kids for Christmas? And it wasn't like because I didn't shop for them, but I honestly had no idea. Like, we bought them stuff. I couldn't tell you what we bought them. So it was like that dad trope of like, I'm just as surprised as they are when they open their gifts. I'm like, oh yeah, wow, that's a cool thing. Like, I bought that like a week ago. Marcy actually gave me a present that I bought for myself, and I forgot that I bought it, and she wrapped it, and I was like, oh, this is sweet.
That is so funny.
It was a Ninja Turtles pizza cookbook. It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. I'm actually using my Christmas present, my headphones that I bought for myself 2 weeks ago, and with permission of my wife. And now, like we got, I've been looking at like watercolors or something, just because paints are cool and kids like paints. But I'm not looking at the Crayola watercolors. I'm looking at the professional watercolors that are like start at $30 for the same palette that's $3 from Crayola. And I'm not going to do that one. That's not what they need. My wife goes over and she picks up the $3 Crayola watercolors. We played for an hour with watercolors. So.
Wow. That's all you need.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Good
brother.
time.
Well, I'm going to let you get to sleep or whatever you need to do now. It's been a long
I'm
Christmas.
about to head to bed because I have been up since 4-ish.
Oof.
Yeah. I was up and down between 4 and 7, but I had some upset children in my house.
That's never fun.
Well,
Well,
man.
it's been fun. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, dear listener.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good wassailing.
A good wassailing.